Recording in progress.
So let's make a formal introduction for our listener. Good afternoon, Genetics. My name is Claudio. I'm calling you from Washington, D.C. From the studios in Fairfax City. We're very humble, grateful that Genetic accepted our invitation to our show. Guys, welcome to the show, man.
Hello. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
So we have here Daniel,
thank you for the invitation.
Claudio, Leo, Horacio, y Tomás, ¿verdad? Right? Yeah. All right. So let's start from the beginning. This has been a weird year for everybody. With the pandemic, people believe in the vaccine. Some people don't believe in the vaccine. Obviously, touring musician like yourself, it has affected your life a lot. So how you guys holding up? How you manage your day-to-day, your real job, your family, your inability to fly, like Claudia was saying, or work? Feel free to elaborate on that.
Well, I think like everybody, trying to do our best in our work. And personally, I'm a doctor also, an ophthalmologist, and I'm, the drummer of the band.
Sure.
And trying to do our best and to do what the government lets us do.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, in my case, I am the only owner of the recording studio, and I have a period of 7 months without work in 2020. So it's been really hard to me, but nowadays it's better. We are working, and it's better with the vaccine, all the pandemic control.
Yeah.
And yes, we had scheduled a concert for May the 9th, 2020. So now we are going to do that show on October the 23rd. So we had some rehearsals in the middle. So just to keep the fingers flowing and the music going. And well, we are going to have a rehearsal in minutes.
Gotcha. Perfect. Yeah. And then when I ask a question, whoever want to contribute, that's fine. It doesn't have to be in order. Some people can answer one question, some people can answer the other, whatever you guys like. Any of you came from a musical family? I mean, how old were you when you began playing, I don't know, guitar or piano or drums in the case of Daniel?
Well, I began playing the piano when I was 5.
Yeah.
And in 14, I was invited to a party to a friend, and he has a little drums over there. So I sat down over there and I said, this is my instrument. So from those days till now, this is what I do in music, and I love it. That's my story.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yes, no musical legacy in my family, but my father is a tango singer. He's 88 right now, but no as a professional. He's been always a singer, as an amateur singer. And my brother, is a lyrical singer. He's a tenor. Well, we began to study music from when I was 6 years old. So this is my background.
Gotcha.
Well, in my case, I would say that there's something like genetic, it's like similar to like a coincidence with the name of the band, because my grandmother was an amateur singer, but she sang really, really well. And also her grandmother.
Yep.
And in the case of my grandmother, that was, she was named Amelita Ramirez, sang in the Teatro Municipal de Santiago in the 1930s with like amateur like aggregation, but they sang a lot of operettas, like the operas, but in a
smaller setting. Yep.
Yes, in duration like smaller, but she sang a lot, and that's very interesting because everybody in my family sing very well. I mean, not necessarily the members of my family that play music like professionally, because nobody does that beside of me. Anybody play music professionally, but everybody sing very well, like have a perfect pitch when they sing, and that's like something genetic, I think.
Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, like in my case, I like was still in Horacio. I don't play any instrument. I don't know how to read music, but I've been listening to music when I was a baby. My dad had a lot of music, tango and jazz. So my dad told me that when they brought me back from the hospital, I listened to two records, 278 RPM record. One was Carlos Gardel and Louis Armstrong. And the rest is history. You know, when I was 14, I discovered rock and roll, right? So I began listening to Peter Gabriel, Genesis at the time, Pink Floyd, Pat Metheny, Jean-Luc Ponty, that kind of stuff. And I was lucky to come to the United States to study. And then I began buying music. And I had like a 3-4 floor of music here that I been collecting and buying, and little by little listening. You know, I buy more than I can consume, so I'm catching up. Try to close the loop, and it's been good. You know, I'm an engineer, and I do this stuff for fun. Obviously, Genesis is one of the top 3 bands in the history of music, if you ask me. You know,
what are the other two? What are the other?
So we from 70s above, right? I mean, before was Elvis Presley and the Beatles, right? But that was before my time. There are Genesis with Peter Gabriel, Led Zeppelin, and Pink Floyd, by far the best 3. But I like a lot of stuff. I mean, Charlie Garcia, Pedro Aznar, Pat Benatar, Blondie, Coldplay, blah, 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 right? And many, many others. But those 3 are, for me, in the history of music, they're going, you know, there's amazing. Like the equivalent of in Latin rock, right? Soda Stereo, there will never be another Soda Stereo for another 100 years, or another Messi for 100 years. Those are unique people, you know, that are born, you know, every 100 years or whatever. But Genesis with Peter Gabriel, especially with Peter Gabriel, you know, and it was great. And believe it or not, when I started the radio, like 7 months ago, the first interview, I got lucky. I was able to interview Steve Hackett. I was starting the radio, and I didn't have any listen. I remember sending an email to Steve and saying, Steve, you know, I love your music. I love Genesis. I'm just starting out. You know, I have another interview. Would you give me a break? And he said, yeah, no problem. That was great. And then interview number 4, I got a hold of Anthony Phillips. You know, the person who, well, you know, Anthony Phillips was before Steve, right?
First guitarist.
Huh?
The first Genesis guitarist.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Yeah. And he also, I interviewed him, and I got lucky. That was the interview number 4. And then Genesis is going to be touring in October and November here. They are doing 20 gigs. So hopefully I can interview, you know, Tony Banks and Mike Rutherford and Phil Collins, but it's going to be difficult because those are, you know, very big names, you know, so it may not happen, but, you know, I need to give it a try.
Yeah, of course. But, yeah.
You know, you need to give it a try, but it was good. But so at the time when you guys were, you know, in the high school, right? In el colegio secundario, digamos. What kind of music would you listen to? I mean, Thomas, for example, you're younger than the other guys, right? So when you knew, for example, who Genesis was, or Peter Gabriel at the time, or?
Yes, I did, because I have 6. We are 7 siblings in the family, you know.
Wow.
And I'm the little one, you know. So I have a brother that is like 10 years older than me, and he showed me like almost all the music that I know, because I was 5 years old, he was 15, and we used to listen a lot to prog rock like Jethro Tull, Rush, Genesis, other bands, different like Dire Straits, different types of music, different genres, and also he was a huge fan of Piazzolla.
Yeah.
He listened a lot to Charlie Garcia also, but he was like insane with Piazzolla. So he almost bought all the discography of Piazzolla, and there I had a very good like opportunity to listen to a lot of music. And my brother also played the guitar, and then I began to sing, and like we began playing together, and so that was like my beginning in music, to sing a lot, but to listen to a wide range of music, different genres.
Yeah, gotcha. What about you guys, man? Claudio and Horacio and Danny.
Well, I was when I was a little child, I listened classical, folklore, Argentinian, and tango, basically, and rock, Beatles.
Yeah.
I am a younger brother of two. My brother is four years older than me, and when he was 15, I was 11, and we were together listening to King Crimson and then Genesis and Yes and all that stuff. That it was a very wide range, as Thomas said. In my house also, we listened to lots of things, from Spinetta to Roberto Carlos and to Van der Graaf Generator. It was delirium. I think that we all listened a lot to Piazzolla and Frank Zappa and all the artists, but the guy who really can speak about that is Horacio.
Yeah. All right.
Because he knew Piazzolla, and he saw live Zappa and Genesis and all that.
Yes, I am a bit older. I was born in the 50s, so for me it was the Beatles. When I was maybe 8 or 9 years old, it was the Beatles everywhere in the 60s. So my first band and the best band in the world is the Beatles for me. So that's how I began to play guitar and piano,
And you play the Indian Beatles too, huh?
and for me it was that, and then that was childhood, 10 years old, and then being a teenager, yes, it's the explosion of prog rock and then jazz rock, and yes, I met Piazzolla in 76. I went to the rehearsals just by chance. It was another world, you met Piazzolla in the theater. Come over to the rehearsals, and I went to the rehearsals, Piazzolla rehearsals, 4 blocks from my home. Well, and yes, I could see Genesis in the 70s and Zappa because I am old, and now I'm fat.
That's okay. Yeah, I never seen. Believe it or not, the 3 bands that I just mentioned before, right? Genesis, with Peter Gabriel, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin. I never seen them, as a band. I've seen individual member, right? I've seen Peter Gabriel many times, and now I'm going to be seeing Genesis 3 or 4 times when they come here at the end of the year, and then Led Zeppelin individual member. But I never seen them together as a band. They broke up. They got separated before I began listening to music or having money to go and buy a ticket to see them. But the music is fantastic. So Horacio was telling me that before you guys used the name Genetics, there was a different name, and before there was a different name. Feel free to elaborate on the history of the band, Horacio, and then for how long you guys been you know, playing. Not all of you have been playing together all the time, but you know, when the band started and got the idea, and then the majority, and
Well,
when
genetics began in 2011,
yeah,
but three of us and that year were playing in the 80s on another band that was called Rail.
yeah,
So that's the background. But then, well, Leo Fernandez came into the band, Claudio Lafalce first, and then we had a very sad episode that our singer and friend Ignacio died in January 2015, and 2 months after that we were having Thomas Price singing with us. That
yeah,
was a
wow,
miracle.
yeah, yeah, wow, yeah. You, Tomas, you knew of then? I mean, you were not in the band before, right? I mean,
No, no, no.
Ignacio was singing, but you knew the band when you were living in Chile or not?
The story is that I I I sang in a Chilean band, in a Chilean tribute band to Genesis that was called Foxtrot, but
Yeah,
it was more amateur than genetics.
yeah,
But we played well, and I was also the younger of the group, and the others were people like 15 years older than me,
yeah,
and they were like professionals of different things, and they play music. So we began to play Genesis, and then we began with that Foxtrot band, and then we stopped playing, and it happened that in 2015, a friend of mine of that band told me, "Hey, Genetics is coming today to play in Santiago," and then I said, "I don't know, I don't know anything about that band." So he showed me the videos, everything, and then he wrote to the Facebook group of Genetics. It contact the manager of that time of Genetics. And then they invited us to see Genetics live in Teatro Caupolicán. So then I had the chance to know the band, but it was like a very crazy thing because I knew Horacio, Claudio, Danny, but I didn't have the chance to know Nacho, the singer, because he was like doing his makeup, you know, like Peter Gabriel. So,
of course, yeah.
but well, the show was fantastic, and after that, I knew the tragedy, and the same friend of Foxtrot told me, "Hey, why don't you write to Genetics and tell them that you can sing in a homage to Nacho?" And that was like very uncomfortable for me because I thought, no, this is like quite strange, you know. But then, like my friend insisted me and persisted, and okay, I wrote to Genetics and I sent them like a letter of condolence, and I told them, well, and if you want to play a homage, I can sing. So then the story went, and I came to be the singer.
Yeah, wow.
And
Funny.
the first show
Yeah.
with Steve Hackett.
It was a funny thing because I contact Tom, and I said, "Okay, Tom, come to Buenos Aires, and the next show you have to sing is with Steve Hackett." So imagine poor Tom.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
it's like surrealistic, you know.
So he sang beautifully, and 2 shows with Steve at the Teatro Coliseum and the Theater Coliseum, and well, now he's our Peter Gabriel.
It's absolutely, yeah. I have seen the on YouTube, right? I listened to not the whole show, but most of them, and it's unbelievable. I mean, it's so well done. I mean, I have seen probably like 10 tribute band here in the United States, and you guys are the best by far. It's like the Messi or the Maradona of the Genesis tribute band. I mean, it's very well done. I mean, and I'm playing with Steve with Steve Hackett, was unbelievable. And how the project came together. I mean, how I know that Steve Hackett, you know, with his band, you know, go to Chile, go to Argentina, go to Latin America, but how it came together to play with you guys and then rehearse with you guys and then 2 nights. Who organized that? How did it happen?
Well, it was a miracle. When Nacho died in that terrible accident, Steve came 2 months before, no, after
3 months.
3 months after, and he made a show with his band in Buenos Aires. We have a friend in common, that is Armando Gallo, that is the journalist that took pictures from Genesis and has a book. I'm sure that you know Armando Gallo.
Yeah.
Armando Gallo came and saw one of our shows. We invite Armando a few years ago,
Selling England by the pound.
And Armando told Steve what happened. So when Steve arrived to Buenos Aires, he was very kind and he invited us to the show. So when he invited us to the show, I sent a mail to him and I said, Steve, would you like to come to our house and have a barbecue? And he said, yes, of course. You know, I didn't believe that. Was incredible. So he came to our house, to my house, and we make an asado with him and all our friends, etc., etc. And when he left Buenos Aires, I sent a little piece of audio, and I said, "Listen, Steve, we're going to make an homage to Nacho. We're going to make a concert, and this is what we do. Would you like to listen to it?" I sent suppers ready, and we want to invite you to the show. If you want to be so kind to play 1 song or 2 songs. And he said, no, I play all the show.
Wow, my God, man.
So he came and we make 2 concerts with Steve, and then we went to Peru and played with Steve. And the plan was to make all a tour with Steve in America, but he has his own band, and the manager said, listen, Steve, you have your band, you can't play with Genetics because you have your band.
Sure.
And he really, you know, it was reason because he didn't play with us anymore. But we have an excellent relation with him, and when we go to London, we have dinner with him, and we are very good friends.
Yeah, good for you. You guys play, you're saying, in Argentina and Peru. You didn't go to Chile with Steve Hackett? No, it didn't work out? No.
No, with Steve.
No.
We played several times in Chile, in Santiago. I think we went 3 times or 3 or 4 times, and but not with Steve.
No, without Steve. Yeah.
No, without Steve.
I got you. Have you guys have ever played here in the United States? No. Have you?
We are trying to do it in 2022.
You guys can do very, very well. Closest band is a band from Canada called the Musical Box.
Yes, we know.
Yes.
They are good, but no like you guys. I mean, you guys are good, man.
Well, my opinion is that this is not a competition, but I had the opportunity to watch a concert by the Musical Box in Chile. In the same place that Genetics plays the first time, in the Teatro Caupolicán.
Yeah.
And I saw the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. And I think that the musical rendition that they make is fantastic. But I think what we do is different, because you can't sound exactly the same as other band, even if you're playing like the same work, you know. So we can play the same song, but it is impossible that we sound the same. So I think that we do the very well, both bands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
I think that
the audience has to choose.
we have a common point, and that is that none of us, nor music blogs or genetics, are the owners of the music we are playing. We play music from other people. We play music from Genesis, and we have the responsibility to play it as better as we can. But this is not a competition or nothing.
Sure.
Nothing at all. We have a common point. We are playing the same music
because we love it.
Because we love it. That's it. It's like people who we consider that playing the most accurately possible music of Genesis is like playing any classical music, you know.
Sure.
And this is our responsibility and the way why we take it so seriously.
Absolutely, man. I'm quite sure that Steve Hackett, when you sent him the tape, he was blown away. I say, man, these guys are good.
Well,
You're
some
so
people,
humble, but
You're blessed.
some people, how much time do you rehearse it with Steve Hackett? And I say, one day. And
my
the
God,
people
man.
say, I can't believe it. And I say, yes, one day. We rehearse it for one complete day, from the morning till the night, stopping for lunch and tea. And well, we have a instant connection.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
He was
And
very happy.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I'm going to be seeing the musical box is going to be playing here in I think in November, toward the end of November. I'm going to show, but you know, you guys, you know, when I saw the videos on YouTube yesterday, and man, that was so impressive, so well done, man. You know, congratulations, man.
Thanks.
Well, we need a producer that can
Huh?
take us to. We need a producer that can take us to the States.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You need two things. You need like a booking manager, right? Who can start calling places and start. I know the things. I go to a lot of shows here, and I know the owners of a lot of places because I see close to 30, 35 shows a year here. And let me see what I can do. Let me organize with Horacio to send me like a sample, and then I will contact a couple of people.
Where do you live?
Huh?
Where are you living?
I live in Virginia, close to Washington, D.C. I live like 20 minutes from Washington. And here in the area that I live, I'm in the border with 3 different states, right? With Washington, D.C. and Maryland. So every band, and I mean every band, come this way. Because where I live in D.C. and Virginia and Maryland, there are so many venues. I mean, we have, I don't know, 100 different venues. I mean, this is amazing. The people in this area like music so much. I mean, the Eagles, the tickets played tonight, they went like that in a couple of days. You know, Genesis went like that, and Peter Gabriel every time, and Pat Benatar, Blondie. You know, people here in this area know music, and they have well-paying jobs. A lot of doctors and lawyers who make money. So, you know, they sell shows. You know, like, you know, to give an idea, right? Who could be like Kate Bush, for example, right? Or David Sylvian. If they were to organize shows, people are willing to pay $500, $1,000 to see them.
Good.
And they will go like this.
But do you think there's a people for tribute bands?
I think it's a market because you guys are very good. As I say before, the venue. Give me 1 minute. The venue where musical box is going to be playing. Give me 1 minute because I got ticket to see them. It's called the Bishmer, and I will send all the information to you, Horacio. And they're playing. Let me look here. Musical. Musical box. Yeah, they're playing November 23rd, and they're charging $50. That means that there's that band should charge in that venue at least $10,000 per night.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have an idea. And your guys are better.
Yeah.
Good.
So meaning that what Daniel was asking me, is there a market? Absolutely. There is a market, you know. Like all the tribute band, the big tribute band, like the tribute band for Pink Floyd, right? There are many. Brit Floyd, for example, is a very good one. Yeah, very good. They are Brit Floyd, they're very, very good, right? And the tickets sold out like that, you know. So any tribute band for Led Zeppelin sell like that. Any tribute, good tribute band for Genesis. You guys can do well here. It's a matter of to make it worthwhile, because you need to pay like a work visa to enter the United States to be a musician here. You need to pay a fee. So you need to do like at least 20 gigs, right? To make it worthwhile, right? For you to fly here and hotels and everything. But I think it could be done. It could be done.
Yep.
So
let's start and organize it.
Yeah.
It sounds possible.
Yeah, it is possible. So let me organize with Horacio, and then see if we can send a DVD or a tape to the folks for the Bishmer, because I know the owners very well, and I know the owners for most of the club here, and see if we can help out a little bit, you know.
Okay.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
We hope you can stay in Buenos Aires for October 23rd.
Yeah, I want. As I say, I was telling Horacio, I really want to go because I'm going to be in Chile that week, so I wouldn't mind, you know, flying to Buenos Aires for 2 days, see the show, and then come back, right?
Yes.
But I cannot stay for the quarantena. It need to be, the COVID need to be over. I got received my vaccine, right? About 4 months ago. I have a certificate, right? Nowadays, every time you need to fly, I'm going to Iceland on Thursday night, and I go with my American passport, my receipt of the vaccine, and I need to do like a test like 3 days before. So I'm going tomorrow morning to make sure I don't have anything, and I'm fine. But in other countries, you need to stay, you know, I don't know what's the situation in Chile, Thomas, but you need to stay like 10 days or something. And it's crazy, you know.
As far as I know, in this time, right now, there are like open the frontiers, I think, because a brother of mine is already in the States, and flew to the States like a week ago, and he's going to return on, I don't know, 3 days. So I think that it is like allowed, the movement, but in Argentina it's different, and at the moment I think
nowadays in Argentina you have to make 10 days of quarantine, but this is going to change in September.
I hope so, because I would really want to go to the show, man. Save a ticket for me, because I want to go. Yeah, I'm going to be in Chile anyway, so I really want to go. I never seen you guys live. Of course,
you are our guest. Don't worry.
We are. This show is the show Genesis play in early '73, which is in the album Genesis Live. You know.
Yeah.
This is February '73, which week is the same show as the Bataclan in Paris in January. You know, the recently restored video.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. This is the show we are playing this year, and for the next year we are rehearsing to play the complete Lyceum Ballroom Show 1980.
Got you.
which
Yeah.
is Duke, which is the Duke tour.
Yeah. Why?
They
So
say.
why doing one show in Buenos Aires? Why don't doing one in Buenos Aires, one Mar del Plata, one in? I mean, it's so much work to do one show, right? It's like being a doctor and only see a patient. Why it's difficult or is?
Basically because there are no producers for that place, for the market. You know, we have experienced some ugly or sad experiences with some producers. I can tell you, playing in a crowded theater, packet, sold out, and we return to Buenos Aires with no money. You know, so I think that probably because we have no very good local producers that can take the number to the different markets, different places, you know.
Mm.
And another thing is that the cost of making a show is relatively expensive.
Sure.
And people in Argentina now, you know, the economy is a disaster, and people hasn't got money to pay, you know, for example, 2,000 pesos, you know, a ticket, or so that's the difficult point.
Yeah. How much? So how much you will charge for that day? No, how much you will get paid? How much people pay to see it?
Well, you know, the tickets began to be sold in 2020.
Yeah.
With
An average of
yes,
1,500.
yes, but you know, in Argentina we have a 50% of inflation, and right now the tickets when go to the sale again will have another price. I don't know exactly what will be,
Would
but
be about 2,500 or 3,000 pesos.
Yes,
How much is dollar?
10
we
and $20. Between 10
yes,
and $20, 25.
yes, that is
Mhm.
between 10 and 20.
And from the people, for the average person in Buenos Aires, is a lot of money.
Well, maybe in Buenos Aires it's not a lot of money for some kind of people.
Yeah.
But if you go to the
Mar del
Other
Plata.
cities, yes, and other cities in the country, it's
really
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. No, you need to tour here. The money's here. The money's here in the United States, in Europe. People,
And in Europe.
you know, just to give an idea, right? We are talking about $20, right? To see you guys, right? You know, Tony Banks, Mike Rutherford, Steve Hackett, you know, Phil Collins, his son is going to be playing drums, right? And then Daryl Sterner will play the other guitar. The tickets are $200, $300.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Genesis, the real thing, but the ticket go like that. So
Yes.
it's of course, you know, we are talking United States. You know, people have more money per capita.
That's the minimum. That's right now, $300 is the minimum average income for the workers in Argentina.
That's it's not much money there. It's a lot of money here. Right?
No.
Yeah. In Chile will be the same, Tomas? If they play then there, it's $20.
I declare myself as an ignorant in terms of economics.
Yeah.
But I think that the situation is quite complex, and the damages of the pandemic are like huge. And I think at the end of the day that we must keep patient, and we have a treasure in genetics. Well, I've been for 5 years, but my experience of Horacio, Dani, Claudio, Leo is enormous, you know, is bigger than me. And we have this treasure, and we played a lot of Genesis stuff a lot of albums, and I think if we keep patient, and one day we'll have the chance to maybe go to the US or to Europe. I don't know. That doesn't like bothered me. The idea of, oh wow, what are we going to do? No, sometimes it has to appear the solution.
Sure, absolutely. No, absolutely, man. When you guys sing, remember, I never seen you guys live, right? I saw the video YouTube with Steve Hackett and some of the videos from some years ago that is there on YouTube. But when you do a show, you guys do like the best of Genesis, or you concentrate in the say Sell in England by the Pound album, or the Love Lies Down on Broadway, or Second Sound, A Trick of the Trail, or it's a combination of the best of Genesis all the period?
Horacio will answer perfectly that question.
Yeah.
Well, we began doing the 40th anniversary we made Foxtrot in 2012, and then Selling England by the Pound 2013, and the 40th anniversary of the albums. We played the whole album and we added some other songs, and so we have different kinds of show. We made all the albums, A Trick of a Tail, let's say the Steve Hackett years, and we also made mixed repertoire, you know, we invented 5 sides live with many songs from different albums, but yes, we made all the formula, all the set list possibles.
I got you.
We began saying or stating that we play the Peter Gabriel era, and then when we extended to Second South, Wind and Wuthering, and it goes Tail, we say that we play the Steve Hackett era, and now we are rehearsing Duke, and we will say that our span is from 70 to 80, we can say. all the 70 music of Genesis.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. On the website, when Steve Hackett was there playing in Buenos Aires with you guys, and the website they mentioned a DVD. Is that DVD for sale somewhere, or you sell that, or Steve Hackett did that?
Only Buenos Aires.
No, we sell that DVD when we go to those shows. We have a little table over there, and we.
Man, I need to get a copy too. All right, I need to get.
Don't worry, Tom will take you. I know you're okay. You're in the States. If you go to Chile,
we're
going to give a copy to Tom, and he gives it to you. And
thank you very much. What about?
It's part of our merchandising. It's not a massive sale for selling, online or nothing at all. It's part of our merchandising.
I'd like to add something that I think is important, because in October we're going to play the Genesis live. So that word is very important, because genetics, that I would say the vocation of genetics is to perform music live. We don't, it's not our aim to record music, like to go one day to the studio and play Selling England, and like then you have the CD. No, we like to emphasize that like the thing that genetics does and does very well is to play music like in a show, and that is like the also an answer to your last question of why we do an album or I don't know, Second Sound. I think it's that we did Second Sound. Now we're going to do Genesis live, then the Lyceum Ballroom. So because that is what we know to do.
That's it.
Yes, I think it's not our music, as Claudio said. Yes, it's not our music, but we make a rendition. We perform that music live. So I think that is our goal.
We could say that our aim is the excellence in performance regarding this music.
Good. That's the reason that there is no CD as well. Yeah. Well, yeah, for that reason, right? So
anyway, I can add that in the before genetics, when the band was real in the 80s and 90s, they released an album by their own with original compositions, which is called Máscaras Urbanas. It's an album from Rail with originals. It's from the 89?
Sí, Horacio, 89, no?
Yes,
1989.
yes, more or less.
Gotcha. I got you. Because here, right, when you go to a concert, the bands make good money in merchandise, right? Selling a CD, selling a DVD, selling a T-shirt, yeah, to complement the income. You know, I don't know.
We do that also.
Ah, okay, yeah, that because it's some money that can be made away, right? So as a on a table on the back as well, right? To promote the music. It was difficult to learn the repertoire. I mean, you guys have been doing for a while, but at the beginning, you know, whoever played the guitar, you know, whoever played the drums, and to do it well, it's a lot of work. It's very difficult, you know. For me, I put my headphone, right, and I drink a beer, right. The music is there, but you know, to really play, yeah, how long does it take to really, you know?
I can tell you that for us, it's a continuous upgrading of all the stuff we consider that we play well, but after a certain time we will realize that it can be better. So we are in a constant upgrade.
Yeah. Improving to make it better, you know. It is here, you want to make it here. It's here, you want to make it there, you know.
Because we discovered that probably if I play in some position, the right position is something like that, and this is get better sound and something like that. All that's improving things.
Yeah.
In particular, my case is I've been listening Genesis from when I am 61 now. I've been listening Genesis from when I was 15, every day, all day. So I listen Phil Collins every day, all day, and I discover many things every day. So it's a permanent, you know, ¿cómo se dice? Aprendizaje. Learning.
Learning process, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, you guys are humble too, because they're good. You know, I as I say, I have seen. Yeah, you're. Yeah, they need to be like the right tour manager and booking manager that can take you guys from Buenos Aires and to United States and Europe, because there is a market. I know for a fact there is a market. You know, as I say, musical box, they do very well here. They go to Europe, they go to Latin America, they go to United States, and all the tickets are sold out. So there is market for another great band like you guys. So it's not, you know, and you know, especially that play the music well, and the guys work well as a group, and so on and so forth. For all the shows that you have done, either in Peru or in Chile or Buenos Aires, looking back, right, is anyone in particular you say, man, that was the best show that we ever made? The lights were great, the audience was great, the equipment arrived on time, everything clicked, you know, the music sound. And is anyone in particular that you say, man, of course, Steve Hackett, right?
We did 3 different shows in 2019.
Yeah.
We play firstly the Wind and Wuthering, complete Wind and Wuthering. Then we played the Lambda Stone on Broadway, the complete show with the slides and everything. And finally we played in November, we played the Black Show, which is the second leg from the 73-74 tour from the Selling England by the Pound.
Yeah.
Probably for us, that those were the three better shows we played, but particularly the last one, the Black Show, was very important for us because we could make an old idea we had that was that make the Lange Gabriel, you know, the angel in the Supper's Ready ending, which that's implied that Tom has to fly. For us, for us was really a dream that come true. Was very important and very it was a big emotion for us to get that kind of performance.
If you look at YouTube,
yeah,
you can put Supper's Ready 2019.
Yeah,
genetics.
Of course. Yeah.
And or I Know What I Like 2019 or
yeah.
Watch of the Skies, etc. That's all the Black Show. You can see the Black Show is really fantastic.
But in that show you can see the angel flying in the end of Supper Ready, which was very striking for everybody, even for us.
Yeah, wow. And then those shows were in Argentina or
in Buenos Aires?
Yeah, Teatro Coliseo.
And then what was the reaction of the people? They went crazy?
They were overwhelmed, I think.
Of course.
Yeah,
I would be. My God. Oh man, that's
funny. It's funny because you know our assistants that works in the hall, they told us that people is crying.
Of course.
Some people cry when they listen to music.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah. Well, if I end up going to Buenos Aires today and see you guys, I can help out, you know, as an assistant or helping out with equipment and putting it together. Because that will be a real trip for me, you know.
Would you like a little tour for our rehearsal room?
Yeah, of course, yeah. As I say, I never seen you guys. I never seen you live. I can only know you for. All right.
Well, I can show you. This is our room of keyboards. So
original.
Here we.
Wow.
Here we have a.
You guys rent that, or is somebody else's house?
No,
it's all us.
It's all us. And now here is our rehearsal room.
Wow, amazing, man. Yeah.
This is Diego, our assistant.
Yeah. My God, this looks beautiful, man.
So
yeah,
we are ready for begin the rehearsal in a few minutes.
I got you. Yeah.
So well, this is our place of work, where we spend our time rehearsing.
I got you. Well, it was very nice talking to you guys, and you know, I want to go. I mean, as I say, I'm going to go to Chile, and then hopefully, you know, the situation with the COVID will be resolved, and I can, you know, fly and see a show. And then feel free to now, you know, that we close in the interview, you know, mention something in Spanish, like I was saying. Antes, yo voy a estar en esa semana por ahí en Santiago porque tengo que ir a ver a mi hermana. Mi mami murió hace poco y no pude ir a verla por la cosa del COVID. Así que tengo que ir por las cosas de sucesión, tengo que ir a Chile, pero de todas maneras iría a Buenos Aires a ver al concierto. Me encantaría. Digamos, como he dicho antes, a usted nunca lo he visto y solamente conozco lo de Steve Hackett, lo que está en YouTube, y es impresionante. Y Supper's Ready, y todos los temas, no solamente Saperray, esa es la más famosa, pero está muy bien hecho. Así que sigan trabajando duro, hermano, y les va a ir muy bien. Y como le contaba Horacio, si de alguna manera voy a hablar con los dueños de acá, de estos clubes, la próxima semana, porque voy a estar fuera del país este jueves, pero cuando vuelva, lo primero que hace es poner en contacto con el dueño y ver si sé la posibilidad de que hagan un show acá, digamos. Pero lo importante va a ser tener un booking agent que empiece a llamar lugar y un touring manager que vea, digamos, cuántos lugares podrían tocar para que convenga, porque acá si uno viene a trabajar en Estados Unidos te van a pedir un fee de tanta plata.
Claro.
Entonces, para que les convenga, a usted lo mínimo tienen que hacer 10 shows, por decir algo, ¿verdad? 10 shows.
Por supuesto.
Entonces, ¿en qué ciudades podrían tocar? ¿Te fijas? Y cómo se van desde una ciudad a la otra, de otra a la otra, de otra a la otra. Hay que hacer reserva de hoteles, hay que pagar permisos, quién lleva el equipo de una ciudad a otro. ¿Entiendes? Es harta pega, es harto trabajo, digamos.
Bueno, sos bienvenido cuando vengas a Sudamérica, sos nuestro invitado a nuestro show, te esperamos. Queremos que puedas venir a Buenos Aires y conocernos.
Perfecto,
y gracias por este espacio que nos brindaste para
Al contrario, el gusto es mío. Muchas gracias, Tomás,
Claudio.
Claudio, Daniel y Horacio. Muchas gracias. Que tengan una bonita tarde. Hasta luego. Gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias. Al contrario.
Adiós, Claudio. Gracias.
Hasta luego. Al contrario. Muchas gracias a usted.